Hi you guys, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft, and it's time to complete another, I think, one-page layout from one of the page kits that I put together. I also had saved this from one of the other page kits that I put together. These are the scraps from that because they match this collection, and so I kept them out just in case I need them. And I for sure wanted to use at least some of these stickers because it is a cooking page. So back in the day, we used to go to my friend Aaron's house almost every Sunday evening, and he's a fabulous cook, really likes to cook, and so we would go over there and he would make dinner for us. And he was pretty good about making kid-friendly food that Reese would eat. She can be a little picky. And this night, though, he was making pizza dough. And we made little build-your-own pizzas. So she got to participate in it a bit. So I think I'm going to, he's throwing the pizza here, but none of them are looking at it and you can't see the pizza dough. So I'm going to hold that one out. This one I'll trim. Maybe I'll do it circular just so you can see all the components. And then we have these two pictures. This one I'll trim up a bit. And this one I'll trim to here. And then so I'll have really two pictures. Maybe I can get that to 4. Yeah. And maybe I'll get that one. I might be able to get them 4 by 4. We'll see. And then let's see what papers I have. So I just have 2 pieces of paper here. I have this green, which is great. I mean, this matches his kitchen, his kitchen walls. So I like that kind of as a base page. And then I definitely want some of this. And then I think we can include this plaid I like a lot. Or this red. I don't mind that either. Okay, and then I have this. Happiness is a kitchen full of family and friends. So to use this, I would probably trim this down a bit, make it a bit smaller, but I like that. And then I have this Let's Eat, which I love. So I want to get those on the page too. All right. So now that I have a basic plan, I'm going to start trimming my photos down a bit. So I really should have, this food picture, I really should have printed it smaller so that I could put a smaller circle on the page, because even after I cut this using my Creative Memories circle cutting system, it's still pretty big, and really it should have been a little smaller for the page, but I'm a easy way out scrapbooker, I guess. So I just left it. I thought about matting it in the red, didn't love it in the red. I do end up, I think, matting it in white. So I flip this over and I decide that I really like, those 2 reds don't go well together, and that's why I avoid using that particular red. So I'm just going to do another circle in white. I'm going to mat these 2 photos in white, and then I've tried to make them fit there on that end, but they wouldn't. So trimmed them up a bit more. So I do end up double matting both of these in the end, because they sit on a white background shelf. All right, so I'm going to use this as my main base page, but I am going to trim it down. And then I'm going to use this red as a frame, but put a piece of white between them. So I like the look of that double frame, so I'm going to gut both of those pieces of paper. I don't believe I do that on camera, but it's as simple as cutting the white piece of paper down to size and then gutting the inside out, leaving an inch border on it. And I do that to the red paper also. I just cut it at an inch all the way around, so that it leaves just a frame. I'll do that on camera one time just so you can see that, but it leaves me with plenty of that cooking paper to use as a shelf as well. So I was just deciding which way I wanted those little drawn scallops to go, and so I'm putting them down. Just making sure, you know. So here I have gutted both papers. I did round the corners of the green paper, just to give it a little interest. And then I've cut from the gutted red paper, the back side of it is this cooking paper. And so that's going to be sort of a shelf for the pictures to sit on. I will end up scalloping that. And here I decide to make a tag that I can use for journaling. I did ink all the edges of the papers as well. So I'm happy with that, pretty happy with that layout. I look at this red, trying to decide if I want to use it. And I decide on that lighter plaid. I have another piece of it, so I'm going to use that for the double mat for this one. The other picture is double matted in a light green. It is a little bit tone on tone, but it helps it show up more against that white shelf. So I get out this scallop. It's an old Stampin' Up border punch. It's just a plain scallop, small scallop, and it works great. And I'm using brown ink for the edges, to ink the edges. So that is my base layout, and now it's time to start working on embellishments and title and things like that. So I did pull out the word together from the sticker sheet that is all this paper, and the stickers are from Homemade collection kit from Carta Bella. So I liked the word together, and then I'm going to add the word cooking, and I used some Felicity Jane letters. I had 2 sets of letters out there. Those ones I decided were too big, so I'm going to use these small puffy Felicity Jane letters. So I'm just putting those on a piece of wax paper to start with. Sorry about that, just got a text message, just to see where I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and start adhering things down. And I think I end up moving this word together down just a tiny bit because I have extra space there. Here's where I decide I have space to move it down, give a little breathing room for the pictures and everything else. And I'm just sort of nestling those pictures, that T and that H, up in that corner. And then showing some of the goodies we put on our pizza. So this page is really starting to come together now. This is a rolling pin. And then I pull out a whole bunch of stickers from the sticker sheet. I already had a few, and I pull out even more to make some couple of little clusters. So here's where I start on that. And I think I do actually remember to ink them all. I do go back and glue these letters. They're not super sticky, and they're so thin, there's not much adhesive on the back, especially for an eye and things like that, so they move pretty easily. So I add some glue to those, I think off camera. So I'm just looking at that and trying to decide what can I make to help the ephemera stand out on there. And so I cut a little scalloped square out of this paper, but I don't like it. So, not doing it for me. Like, nope. So that goes away. And then I just start looking for how can I help make these stand out a little more. And I start making a little collection. I like this chicken, and he'll help things stand out. So I just keep adding things to it, and I go back to the sticker sheet as well for some extras and start just dividing things up. I put a rolling pin at the bottom. There's a rolling pin on that little red piece of paper at the top. This is a wordy bit. I just cut a little fishtail on it, put it at the bottom of that journaling tag. And then I'm just building up clusters, trying to make sure I have at least 3 items on each. And I decide to add a few little tiny flowers. So I've made a pretty good job on this sticker sheet. I still have those banners. I think it just would have been too busy to add those banners to this page as well, just because it's got, 2 pieces of busy paper or ephemera on there. So I'm looking for the right color enamel dots, and I find these Felicity Jane ones, and they're pretty good colors for it. So this page is just about finished. I do actually get my journaling done before I put the page away in my stack. And I think we're about to go into some close-ups and my real-time thoughts on the completion of this page. Journaling here, cooking together the title, and I think this page is done. So I tried to use up a bunch of the sticker sheet and a lot of my paper. And this is all from Carta Bella Homemade. Thanks a lot, you guys.